Hello guys, how are you? So, I guess you guys have heard that there is a new MacBook M1 called M1X, I guess, right? So recently, I've been hearing a lot of issues about M1 MacBook Pro. Most of the issues encompasses heating issues. Then there are some screen flickering issues, and also some of the issues were about keyboards. I guess those were trivial compared to the heating issue. So let's just see a video where a YouTuber, Morgonaut Media, was actually released 10 months ago about M1 MacBook Pro's heating issues. I don't
Computer is
know whether he should be called he or she. She's saying that it is melting down at 100 degrees centigrade, right? And what is this? I think this is a 15-inch, maybe 15 or 17. I can't really tell from this photo. And it has got a huge screen and high pixel resolution, but the insides have got only one fan. It doesn't make any sense, right? Let's watch the video.
This is late 2020 MacBook Pro 13-inch equipped with the
Okay, so this one is a 13-inch 2020 MacBook Pro, and so
M1 Apple Silicon SoC. I bought it for myself in a Goodwill. It will work well for my personal needs. But no. On the internet now you can see tons of reviews from other YouTubers, blah blah blah. Everything is amazing, it's super fast, it's flying through timeline like a knife through a butter.
Yeah, it's true that most of the YouTubers are mainly talking about the magical, maybe what should I say, utopic improvements in the M1 chip. But I guess most of them are silent about this heating issue which has been plaguing the M1 MacBooks, right?
But is this all true? No. And I will tell you in this video the real truth about M1 Apple Silicon computers.
So I guess in the later video, she or he, I don't know, it looks like it's a she, but for, I don't know, I should call her she.
Fully utilize this hardware to its maximum, or they are intentionally forget to say something very important. So that's why I am here to tell you the real truth about M1 equipped Macs. This is Apple MacBook Pro.
So she will be telling about the real truth about this M1 MacBooks related to the heating issues, right? So most of the YouTubers are not really bothered to tell their viewers about this MacBook. I don't know, maybe Apple has something to do with this. I don't know.
Pro 13-inch equipped with the Apple M1 SoC Silicon. I can reach 100 degrees of Celsius on his computer in the same time. So
she says that she will be doing a task in the MacBook which will maximize the resource utilization of this laptop, right? So it will automatically push the chip to its maximum capacity. So it would be producing the maximum amount of heat in the MacBook, right?
So let's have a look. I have here open one of my latest videos, DaVinci projects, which I made for my second YouTube channel. Nothing super heavy, some 6K Blackmagic RAW and some progress files from my Atomos Ninja 5s. And use all notifications so you won't miss, as you can see.
It's even lagging here. I mean, I guess she has not even published or processed the whole video completely, and while playing from this timeline, it's lagging a bit.
It's not possible to even play it on a half resolution. So now it's time to make a proxy media out of my source media. So let's have a look. Here I have my Ninja 5.
So observe that the temperature is at only 41 degrees centigrade and the fan is still off, right? Only one fan. The MacBook Pro has only one fan, and there, I guess it's an 8-core CPU. Is M1 an 8-core? M1 8-core CPU. Yeah, it's an 8-core CPU and a 14-core GPU, right?
ProRes 422 HQ in 4K resolution. I will click on generate proxy media, and now let's have a look what's gonna happen. Starting temperature, as you can see now, is currently 48-50.
So at first it was almost, I guess here it was 41 degrees centigrade and fan was off. Now the temperature has reached 67 degrees centigrade, right? And the fan is still off. Fan is still off.
Degrees of Celsius, fan is completely off. Let's give it a few seconds. I said within a minute. Look, temperatures are rising. As you can see, the CPU is maxed out and the GPU is almost maxed out at 97%. Okay, so we are
so now okay,
starting to reach 87 degrees of Celsius, and the GPU,
it's 84 degrees centigrade and the fan is still off. I don't understand this, guys. Just see the core, all the cores are being utilized to their maximum limits. The GPU is already being utilized at its maximum limit and the fan is still off. I don't understand this logic.
GPU is almost maxed out at 97%.
Yeah, so now after at exactly 84 degrees centigrade, the fan starts moving 1200, I think 1357 RPM. So it has just started to move like a snail's pace, guys. So now even if this thing continues, the temperature would rise quite appreciably.
Okay, so we are starting to reach 87 degrees of Celsius. We are still on the beginning. 89. First 90. 93. What the hell is going on here?
The fan is still slow. The fan is still slow. It has already reached 94 degrees centigrade. I guess if you actually put you can actually make an omelette on the if you actually drop an egg over the CPU, right?
Fan started to spin.
Fan starts to spin.
95C, 96, 98, 99. So it was not even a minute. It was just a half minute. So at this moment, the fan is starting to spinning much more and more, and I will tell you immediately, it will end up at maximum 7200 RPM, but the temperature will stay absolutely the same. That's where this computer...
So the temperature, so the fan will move to its maximum limit at 7000 RPM, and the temperature remains maximum. So what is the use of this fan? I don't really understand. So there is not enough ventilation, the body is slim, and the heat cannot escape. It's logical.
Computer will throttle down its frequency to be able to stay some kind of under 100 degrees of Celsius melting point of this MacBook Pro. So if you can see,
it's not the melting point of this MacBook Pro, it's melting point of the MacBook Pro. It doesn't really make sense.
in those videos of those other reviewers, they say it's silent. No, it's not silent anymore. We are now...
Yeah, it's not silent, it's like, and the mic is able to capture the hissing sound of that MacBook Pro's weak, I would say weak fan, right guys?
currently at 4791 RPM.
The fan is crying for help, dude. I can't do this job. Please help me. Please help me. The fan is asking for help, right?
It's really loud, and we are still not at the maximum speed of the fan. So simply, please, don't trust to reviewers on YouTube unless you will do your own testing or listen to Morgonau. You know, I personally buy computers in a goodwill. It will last for me for a really long time. You know, for example, look at this. This is my amazing 2004 PowerBook G4, and it's...
So what she's saying is that as the MacBook Pro 2020 M1 MacBook Pro is hitting so much, the CPU might cause problems later, not now, because obviously most of the parts in the MacBook are new right now, but as time goes, most of the parts will be affected by that heat, and they will not give you maximal performance.
Still perfectly working after 16 years.
Look at this thickness. It has a lot of air, and I guess there was 2 fans. I don't know, maybe even 1 fan. The air has some place to go, actually move. The air can move in and out like a dinosaur, I guess.
Do you think this MacBook Pro, which you will put within 30 seconds to a melting point 100 degrees of Celsius, will last you also the same 14 years? Darling, I believe no, that's not possible. So, because I really want a computer which will last me a long time, which I don't need to fear about that it will break, I don't know, after 6 months or maybe earlier, this computer is absolutely not for me. Simply, if you are planning to do only some light web browsing, watching videos, answering emails, okay, then you know.
Yeah, what she is saying that the Apple has introduced the MacBook Pro, or maybe the MacBook for the professionals. What do you mean by the professionals, right? I guess what we can infer from this video is that the MacBook Pro is built for the people who wants to just send emails and stuff like that, and that's it. It's not for the professionals, I guess.
You don't need MacBook Pro. The MacBook Air would be perfectly fine for you. But if you are really serious about what you are doing, some video editing like I showed you please forget about MacBook Pro 13-inch equipped with the M1.
So now even if not I guess now if the temperature of the MacBook continues to rise, so what will happen? The CPU will be throttled down to work at lower speeds. So where's the advantage? Where is the advantage, man? I mean, my CPU has in this laptop, my CPU is a Ryzen 5 4600H, and it has good thermals. It has good I should say ventilation, a lot of ventilation, two huge fans, and I guess two thermal pipes were there. So at higher temperatures, my AMD chip can actually perform better than this M1. So I guess heating issue is a limiting factor for the M1 MacBooks. So there are a lot of fanboys who claim that this is all wrong and this is all fake, but I don't believe it. So I guess the M1 MacBook is bad.